Hi Clarinets, today in lesson 17 we're going to be looking sharp. We're going to use our G sharp fingering. We're going to use our low G sharp fingering, which requires this pinky here on our right hand. And we'll also be using our fingering for the high B above the staff. Thumb, register key, and first finger. Let's dive into for our first example, number 55, looking sharp. I've got my metronome set at a very slow tempo, largo, 45 beats per minute. And the key signature says that I'll need a B flat as well as some sharps. I'll need a G sharp, I'll need a C sharp along the way. So let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3. If you need a fingering for the fingering of C sharp, remember that there's a fingering guide in the inside cover of the back of this book. For all instruments, there are fingering guides in each of our method books, and they're there to be helpful to you in the case that you don't know how to finger an instrument, finger a fingering on your instrument. Now we'll move on to our second example, which just so happens to be the Canadian National Anthem. For the clarinet, we're going to start on the note high E. E with 3 fingers on our left hand, 2 fingers on our right hand, and our thumb and register key. Our second note is G. We'll remove the 2 fingers on the bottom, leave everything in place, and that'll give us our high G fingering. The key concept note of this song, and one of the focusing notes of page 17, is our high B. The fingering is pictured at the top of the page, but it's our thumb and register key and our first finger on our left hand. Let's change our metronome to 86 beats per minute, moderato, for the maestoso of number 56. And let's begin with O Canada. 1, 2, ready, and. One thing I want to point out is in the last measure of the 4th line, we'll be using our low G sharp fingering. That's pictured in the clarinet book at the top of the page. You'll need 3 fingers on the left hand, 3 fingers on the right, and your G sharp pinky key. You do not need your register key in the back. Next, let's move on to number 57, the aria from The Marriage of Figaro by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. This piece is marked allegretto, so we'll need to change our tempo to allegretto, and that is 98 beats per minute. On the second line of number 57 is a first and second ending, as well as a repeat sign on both the beginning of the line and at the end of the first measure. we'll need to pay special attention and make sure that we're repeating back to the second line after we've played the first ending, and then continuing on to the second ending to finish the piece. We've got some high notes as well, starting with the high G, 3 fingers on the left hand, thumb and register key in the back. And let's jump right in and play our Mozart piece, Aria from the Marriage of Figaro. I'll count to 4 and then to 3 before we begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I hope you were successful with that. Remember, at any time you can pause, rewind, go back, and replay any of these exercises for an additional help. On number 58, the accent on creativity has some tips to improvisation on chord changes. It says, improvise your own melody using notes contained in each measure of the 3-note chord. You may also use passing and neighbor tones as long as they are of a short duration. Experiment a little playing through the chords in each of the examples in number 58. Find some melodies that you can create on your own from those note choices. So I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that you'll consider playing through this lesson again with me, as well as practicing some of these exercises with a metronome on your own. Until I see you again soon, keep practicing.